The Decode HS Automotive Key Cutter. Preset for cutting Acura and Honda keys, it offers 3 modes of key cutting. The first is decode and copy, in essence duplicating an existing key. The Decode automatically compensates for any wear detected in the existing key. Second is cutting by indirect code, which uses the number obtained from either the original vehicle key or the manufacturer's VIN number. Third is cutting by bidding number, the actual cut numbers associated with a specific key. Now let's get acquainted with some of the features of the machine. The master power switch is located on the back next to the power cord. The emergency push button stop is here on the right. Simply hit it to stop the machine. The 3-position vice jaw is located here, along with the clamp locking handle, an ergonomic grip, cutter spindle, and above that, the depth regulating dial. This dial is numbered 1 through 16 with specific numbers correlating to certain types of keys. The dial locking handle must be released when changing from one key type to another. And here is the cutter and the decoding pin. The control center is the keyboard and the LCD display screen. For safety, there's an interlock shield that assures the machine will not function unless the shield is down. There's also a port on the machine for updating with a PC. Updates are supplied in the form of a CD. Now let's get you set up. Make sure you place the machine on a stable, dry workplace. Due to its weight, we suggest that 2 people do the lifting. Retain the special shipping carton and wooden platform just in case the machine ever has to be reshipped for repair. The tool accessory pack should be kept in a safe location for easy access. To begin, turn on the machine with the power switch. You need to ensure that the safety switch is in the out position, which means the machine is turned on. At that point, the machine will light up and the screen will show you the version number of the software loaded into the unit. Next, you'll need to install the vice jaw since it doesn't ship installed. Press the stop and shift button at the same time with the shield down in order to position the carriage for the jaw insertion. Remove the tag and a nylon band prior to inserting the jaw. Next, loosen the locking lever and slide the jaw into the dovetail design on the bottom of the jaw. Pull back on the locking handle and position the jaw so that the A position is in front of the red index mark on the carriage of the machine. Now turn the locking lever to secure it in place. The first mode demonstration will be decode and copy, making a duplicate of a working key. Looking at the LCD screen, use the arrow keys to move the cursor beside the decoding and copy line of the menu. Press Enter and the screen will change. Make sure that the cursor is now beside the manufacturer number. If not, use the question mark key to change it. When the cursor is flashing beside MFG, you can type in the vehicle manufacturer of the key you're cutting. Confirm that it is correct and press Enter. For Acura and Honda, there are 2 options. You can cut a master key that will operate all the locks on the vehicle, or you can cut a valet key. We're going to cut a master key. So if the cursor is flashing beside the word Master, press Enter. This next screen verifies which jaw position we need to use. Here it's calling for jaw position A, tip stop position 2, and dial position 5. If you look at position A of the vice jaw, you'll see the number 2 on the back edge of the jaw indicating tip stop 2. There's also a movable tip stop position 1 and a shoulder stop position 0 that's used for some applications but not for Acura or Honda. The depth dial is preset to number 5 for Acura and Honda applications. However, if it needs to be moved, you'd loosen its locking lever, rotate the dial to the desired number, and relock the lever. But for Acura and Honda, it needs to be on position 5 and locked. Next, loosen the vice jaw and position the pattern key so that its tip is against the face of the number 2 stop position. With the key held firmly and level in place, tighten the clamp. We'll bring the shield down and press the start button. At this point, the machine will start decoding the cuts on the pattern key. It's not necessary to decode the reverse side of the key. After the machine has finished decoding, take the pattern key out of the machine. The machine will display the cuts that were decoded from the pattern key and will press Enter. At this point, we're ready to insert the blank key into the vice jaw. Again, the screen is telling us to use tip stop position 2, dial position 5, and it indicates the cutter number to use. In this case, the H101. So, I'll loosen the vice clamp, position the tip of the blank against tip stop 2, and we'll lock the blank in place. We'll lower the safety shield and press the start button. After finishing the first side of the key, take it out of the vise. Using the supplied brush, remove all of the brass debris from the jaw surface to be sure it doesn't interfere with positioning the second side of the key. Once again, insert key by butting the tip against stop position 2, lock the clamp, bring the shield down, and press the start button one more time. Now the key is all done. Brush it off, and it should work properly in the lock. If more than one copy of the key is required, you can elect to make more copies without reinserting the pattern key. But we're only making one key, so we'll press Stop. Another popular way to cut a key is by indirect code number. We're going to use the code number that comes with the original keys. The code number can also be obtained through the manufacturer based on the VIN number of a specific vehicle. To cut by code, go to the list of codes, which is the third selection on the LCD screen. Use the up and down arrows to make that selection, then press Enter. Now it's asking for the code number, so we'll type in N392. You'll notice on the keyboard there are both red and black characters. To access the red characters, press the Shift button while pressing the key. After entering the key code, press Enter. Again, we have two choices. You can cut either a master or a valet key. We'll stick with the master key and press Enter a second time. The machine is now prompting us to load a key blank. As with Decode and Copy, the screen will tell you what tip-stop position to use as well as the proper depth setting. Once again, with Acura and Honda, it will be position 5. You can also confirm the cutter number for the specific application. We'll take the blank key, insert it into the vice jaw, clamp it in place, lower the shield, and press the start button. Now the first side of the key is done, so we'll raise the shield, remove the key, clean off any debris on the vice jaw, flip the blank over, and position the tip against the number 2 tip stop. Clamp it in place, lower the shield, and press the start button to continue. Remove the key, and that completes the process. The third method for cutting a key is by bidding number. On the LCD screen, it's identified as Insert the Cuts. In this method, you would be entering the cut numbers, called bidding number. This number is obtainable from a printed code book or other source. Details on how to use this provision are supplied in the accompanying manual. The Decode HS can also cut keys from manufacturers other than Acura and Honda. To do so, you'll need to type in the other manufacturer's name. In many cases, you'll have to reposition the vice jaw, loosening the locking lever, pulling back on the ergonomic knob, and sliding the vice jaw over until it indexes opposite the correct position, either A, B, or C for the particular key. You'll probably also have to reset the machine's vertical depth scale by loosening its locking lever, rotating the dial to the indicated number, and relocking it in place. Then, just follow the same cutting procedures. Changing the cutter. After approximately 100 keys, you may find that the cutter will start to sound dull or leave excessive burring on the keys that it cuts. To change cutter, use the supplied Allen wrench to loosen the set screw that secures the cutter in place. Take out the old cutter. Install the new one by pushing it all the way up to the top of the holder until it bottoms out. Holding it in position, tighten the Allen screw. Now go into the calibration menu. It's the third option listed on the main menu screen. Press Enter. You have three choices: clamp, cutter, or tracer point. Use the up and down arrow key to position the cursor beside cutter and press Enter. The next screen will show you which cutter to install, and in the case of the Decode HS, it is the H101. Press Enter. And to confirm that we want to calibrate the cutter height, press Enter again. The machine is now directing us to use Template 22. Template 22 has two ends, A and B. For cutter calibrations, we want to position the B end of the template against the position 2 tip stop on the vice jaw. Press it to the back of the vice jaw until it contacts position 2. Hold it firm and level, and clamp it in position. Then hit the Enter button. Now we're directed to open dial locking lever. Then press Enter. Now set the depth dial to the number 16 position. We'll lower the shield, then press Start. Open the shield. There's a status line on the screen at this point. Presently, the status is off. We're directed to rotate the dial to the right until we hear a beep. That's where we want to stop and press Enter. We're now directed to loosen the Allen screw on the dial while holding the lower portion of the ring. Position the upper portion with the numbers so the number 6 sits in line with the index mark. At that point, we'll press Enter. Now tighten the set screw. Then rotate the depth dial to the number 10 position. Lower the shield. Press Start. The machine is now asking us whether we want to zero out the cutter count. This means the machine will keep track of the number of keys cut on the new cutter. We'll press Enter to activate that feature. To maintain this setting for cutting Acura and Honda keys, move the depth dial back to the number 5 position and then lock the cutter height locking lever, and the cutter replacement is complete. Return Template 22 to its storage box.